Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. It's episode 122 of Left Side Heavy the podcast, presented by Blue Wire. It's your boys once again. Just me and Hayden this week again, and we're gonna be basically running it back. Um, Same thing we did last episode, recapping a very, very entertaining week two. Lots of games that were really exciting that weren't looking to be that exciting either going into the week or even halfway through their respected games. And then next thing you know, that it was hard to find a game on this weekend slate that wasn't fun to watch or had any sort of craziness in it. But Hayden, what was your first of all, how you doing, buddy? I know I saw you yesterday, but how you been? How was your work day today?
Oh, it was all right. It was a fast day. I literally blinked and it was over. Almost. It was just kind of like I worked in the morning, and for me, going from 6 to 9
Nice.
is just like boom, an instant. And then at 9:30 I take a 15-minute break, and then basically from 10 to 12 it went like boom again. And then from 12 to 2 it just went boom again. Like it felt like the day was over before I had my coffee.
That's nothing to complain about. That's just absolutely beautiful.
Oh, 100%. Just felt like I worked 8 hours, and I didn't have any issue with it.
That's unreal, man.
Oh yeah,
Well, how about we celebrate that by talking some week two NFL football?
I agree. I agree.
So, we are going to get started with Thursday night. An anticipated matchup that I'm sure just about every single NFL fan was looking forward to going into this season was the Chargers versus the Chiefs, which is probably going to be the best matchup as long as Herbert and Mahomes are behind center for the next decade, assuming they both stay with their respected teams. This Chargers Chiefs matchup is always going to be entertaining with these two quarterbacks at the helm. And it was exciting. Um, Chargers were basically they had majority of the control for the entire game.
Hmm.
They went up 10-0. And then like Mahomes, the Chiefs offense didn't play great. The Chargers didn't necessarily play great, but I just felt that they had a stronger grip on the game for 2 and 3/4 of the game.
I definitely say it was until the fourth quarter when
Yeah,
things started to go haywire. You got that. I believe the biggest momentum game changer was that pick six
Hundy.
from that guy who was literally working at Wendy's 3 years ago.
Yeah,
That's a truly inspirational story from that guy, and he made the absolute play of the lifetime that, like, who knows if he'll ever get that play again.
yeah.
And in such a big moment too, because obviously you're going up against, the Chargers and Herbert, but I feel like we got to give our flowers to more of Justin Herbert.
That guy's a
Like
warrior, man.
he was playing with, what was it, like some broken cartilage in his ribs or some shit like
Yeah.
that? Like,
So yeah, he ended up fracturing some rib cartilage in his some cartilage in his ribs, and he's technically like day to day, but
which is
he's
absolutely insane.
yeah. But you saw it because like there was a easily convertible
Third and
third
one.
and one that he could have rushed for, and he didn't even have the strength to do that. He just threw it
No.
on the ground. He just threw it out of bounds.
Yeah, you literally see him like grab his rib and he just, no, I'm
Yeah,
chucking this. Like, I can't. I can't.
yeah,
No, it was absolutely insane.
and then what? The following play, he throws an absolute dot
Oh,
to um to Carter, and then
absolutely.
just a couple plays later, gets within. It was too little, too late, but gets the Chargers within three with a touchdown pass to Palmer, but then Kansas City, all they had to do was take a knee. But yeah, that was 100% the turning point was when Watson, that 99-yard pick six,
100%.
100%. And I was watching it at Leo's, and um I saw that, and it was not a good throw by Herbert. It was
Mm-mm.
like there was Gerald Everett and Palmer, and he threw it right in between them to Watson.
Yeah.
It
Well,
was
I
like,
mean, you look back at that play too. Sorry for interrupting, but you look back at that play, and even before the play, Gerald Everett was dead as fuck. Like he
yeah,
was tired. He was like, "No, like get me off the field. I can't breathe. Like I'm so tired." And then they're playing tempo, and Everett, you could maybe say he didn't play it back to the ball because it looks like Herbert was going for Everett again, like one on one, and it's just kind of like, oh, that's such a killer because he clearly just didn't have enough in the tank. And you see, he didn't even try to go for the tackle or run for him. He just picked up his mouth guard and walked off the field.
yeah.
Like he
And
was dead tired.
yeah, I also just think it wasn't the best path. It wasn't the best decision by Herbert. I think Palmer was the better option there. It
Hmm.
was just he had more of like he could put a ball in a place that the defender couldn't get it, whereas I think Watson was more caked onto Everett.
Yes.
So I think it was just a riskier pass, and it just wasn't accurate. It wasn't placed well. Maybe if he threw Everett more to the pylon,
Yeah,
maybe
definitely
they would have got it.
outside.
But
Yeah.
he put that inside, and that's all Watson needed was just to jump on that.
Yeah.
But no, Mahomes, I like they both didn't necessarily play amazing, but the fight in Herbert is just he's my favorite quarterback.
Hmm.
And Mahomes is still like that sidearm was goofy. The
Yep.
fact he just scrambled and did a little stupid sidearm play was unbelievable. And just like the scramble throws Mahomes was making, it was like I shouldn't have been surprised at this point. It's like
Yeah, it's like every other day of the week. It's like, oh, Wednesday could be interesting. No, it's just gonna be the same old, same old. Oh, Mahomes made a incredible, miraculous throw. Like
who
it's just,
who would have thought?
yeah, honestly, fuck.
And Mike Williams absolutely ate. He had over 100
Beasted.
100 over I think he had 13 or 130 yards and a touchdown or something like that, or maybe 120 and a touchdown or something around there.
Yeah, absolutely huge game.
He came in clutch for Mahomes with Keenan Allen out with a hamstring injury. Yeah, it was just an absolute dogfight. As soon as Watson picked him off, I knew it was wraps. Just
Hmm.
like in Arrowhead with so much momentum, and there was still like 11 minutes left when that happened. But I'm like, Casey's just got way too much momentum swinging their way.
All
Okay,
the
like,
momentum.
and then like Chargers went 3-and-out the following play,
Hmm.
and then Chargers again kicked a field goal after that, and then I think the following drive Herbert got hurt, and
Yeah,
yeah,
something like that.
I'm like
Yeah.
now it's definitely wraps. Like there's no chance. And then, but like, hey, they just like the fact that he was able to drive down and like get a score it's crazy. But I'm looking forward to the next game. Um, and we'll see about Herbert's health.
Agreed.
Mahomes even went up to him at the end of the game. He's like, "Bro, just get healthy. Good luck."
Yeah, seriously, like they're gonna need it.
Yeah, exactly. So, um, how much do you think Herbert plays on Sunday?
Oh yeah, I think he definitely plays, especially since the Chargers are versing. Let's see here. Who are they
The
versing again? The
Jacksonville.
Jags.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to say that the Jags are a hot team, but I mean they're playing pretty fucking hot. So you definitely don't want to give up one, especially to an AFC team.
Yeah.
And as long as Herbert can just come in there and be like 80% of himself, I think they can definitely take the game away.
Or kind of do like a Buffalo Tennessee situation where if they do get it big early, throw
Take him
Chase
out.
throw Chase Daniels in there and then let him
Yep.
sit out for the rest.
Throw the $40 million quarterback in who hasn't played, I think, like I don't think he started more than 50 games in his life.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Somehow keeps getting paid.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. But yeah, KC 27, Chargers 24. That officially puts Kansas City at the top of the division, 2-0. And Scott's pick is looking better, but I don't think Mahomes is necessarily sitting at the top of the MVP right now
No,
because
as we speak, we are watching this Bills Tennessee and now coming back from halftime, Eagles Vikings, and it wasn't even the end of the third quarter, and Josh Allen was pulled for
Case Keenum
Case Keenum because he's fucking on fire tonight.
41-7. It currently
Yeah.
sits Buffalo over Tennessee, and it's just started the fourth quarter. Diggs has 3 touchdowns at just under 150 yards. We'll get to that one later as it finishes up. But I think we're gonna go to the game of the week.
Okay. There could have been multiple games of the week here.
Miami, Baltimore.
Okay, yeah, pretty much game of the week.
It's in the top 3.
I definitely say so.
And Tua came out and didn't necessarily start out great. He had 2 picks to start off. But then he just decided he's out for vengeance.
Mm-hmm.
And went bazooka mode, throwing just under 500 yards, 6 touchdowns.
No, he didn't he throw over 500 yards?
I think 496
Okay.
with 6
Six
touchdowns
touchdowns. Yeah.
and 2 interceptions. Jalen Waddle and Tyreek each had 2, and Tyreek had 190 yards. Waddle had 170. And yeah, it was just an unbelievable comeback win. They scored 28 in the fourth alone and beat Baltimore 42-38.
Yeah, absolutely fucking ridiculous, man.
It's just such a crazy game because I'll be honest, like was not expecting Tua to come out and deliver that.
No, I was not either. And we were both watching it together on Sunday. And when Baltimore was up 21 points, I was like, see, I can't believe my dad and Donald wanted to take Miami here in this like situation. And I mean, rightfully so. Like, come on, Baltimore. Like you're showing your Atlanta colors right now. And Lamar had like an
He had a feel
MVP performance.
he had a field day with Miami's defense today. Lamar did his part. He had his guy. It was Baltimore's defense that choked it away.
Absolutely. Absolutely choked it. They left Tyreek Hill open on 2 of the biggest plays ever. Like, how do you leave this man wide open?
Like, I know it's hard to cover him because of how fast he is, but they were playing zone defense and no one picked him up. That's
It's like
different.
why are they playing zone?
Yeah.
Like you gotta double cover this man
Yeah.
and
Put a
like
safety over the top, ball hawking Tyreek and a guy on him.
yeah.
That's what you should do. You should never leave one guy on Tyreek in a zone defense. Like that's not how you play him because he's if
He'll dust you.
he's the fastest man like I've ever seen. And he's just gonna run right past you. And look what
Yep.
happened. Gave up the game-winning touchdown.
Yep.
It was you got to put a safety over the top with him always. But then you also got this man Jalen Waddle who can just spring out 60-yard touchdowns like it's his fucking breakfast.
Yeah, I don't understand how Waddle can get so open as well. Like
It's just
an absolute wide receiver tandem. Like they could be man, they were like Jefferson and Thielen like 2 years ago. You remember how electric like they were with Minnesota?
yeah, they each had like
Over 1,000 yards, like
yeah,
10 touchdowns each or almost something like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Waddle is like going into the NFL. Waddle is being compared to Tyreek, just based off play style, catching drag routes, slant routes, in routes, and then springing off. Like his yards after catch ability is like unbelievable.
Yep.
And then lo and behold, what, 2 years later, Tyreek finds his way on the same team as Waddle, and now
It's like
every
having two Tyreeks or two
yeah,
Jalen Waddles. Yeah.
yeah, and now every single secondary playing against Miami is like, okay, so like does anyone run like kind of as fast as these guys? And they're like, nope. It's like, okay.
But then it's like you have Raheem Mostert in the backfield, and Raheem Mostert's no shag at speed either, you know?
Yeah, it's literally his age that's taken down his speed, but like what, 2 years ago, he was
He
like
was running like 22 miles an hour.
easily the fastest running back, but now it's
Oh,
just
yeah.
like he's over 30, so it's like maybe he's slowed down a bit, but he's still no slouch in terms of the speed.
Not at
And
all, yeah.
yeah, Miami's wide receiver core and a wide receiver room is looking
Elite.
scary because
Elite.
Baltimore's defense isn't one to sneeze at. Like it's not 42 points bad. It just shows that how much speed kills.
Yeah, speed and catching ability. Like some of those catches that were made were just like, how do you make these catches, you know? Or just
Yeah.
how do you leave someone that wide open? And that's just bad play style. But you know, now Baltimore has something to look back on and come back and reiterate this next week and for weeks to come because you know Miami now kind of starting off hot, showing out a big defensive performance week 1 and now an even bigger offensive performance week 2.
Yeah, this is like a situation where they can kind of play both games. Um, like they were in a shootout, and
Mm-hmm.
this is where Tua needs to prove that he's the guy in games like this. You need to prove that you can go toe to toe in a shootout. And I think every quarterback should be able to when you have Tyreek and Jalen Waddle.
Mm-hmm.
But this was really important for Tua because if he didn't, then all the narratives on him this offseason not being able to throw, everything like that would be correct. And that's something that can't hang on Tua's shoulders. So this was really important for him. And he threw for 500 yards and 6 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And were some of the balls underthrown? Yes, but some of them didn't need to be on target because even if Tyreek had to come back for the ball, he's going to outrun everyone to the end zone.
Literally, yeah. He
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 had,
stopped for like half a second and still caught it in enough time to just walk in.
yeah, he caught it and then still ran the peace fingers
Yeah.
as he was running. So like no one's going to catch him.
No.
And I just think Tua handled it perfectly. Like didn't start off well, but like still matched what Lamar was doing.
Yep.
And that anytime touchdown from Lamar, our bet was electric. What was that, like a
Oh,
65-yard run?
75-yard run. Yeah.
Dude, we saw him break through the wall there and we both got up. We are like, go, go, go. Mind
Oh
you,
my God.
I bet was kind of crashed because Saquon never found it. And
And Kareem Hunt.
yeah, so it was
Instead,
it,
Nick Chubb.
yeah, it was tough, but I mean, it was still electric factory seeing Lamar break that out.
Oh,
But
100%.
yeah, Lamar had a field day as well. He had 3 touchdowns, 4 total touchdowns. He had like over 100 rushing yards, um, about 300 passing yards. And then like I think what was it, like the interception he threw was basically just on trying to get in field goal range. So it's like one of those that doesn't really count.
Yeah, something like
Um,
that.
or am I thinking of? Oh, I'm thinking about Brissett. Um, or did Lamar throw a pick?
I don't think he actually did throw a pick.
I
Now that
might
I'm
be.
thinking,
I
you
might be.
probably are thinking of Brissett. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking about Brissett for sure.
Yeah. Lamar had a fumble, but it wasn't like a fumble to the defense. So,
Oh, he recovered it.
yeah, he recovered it.
But yeah, it was a really good game, really fun watch. Especially just like in the second half. But yeah, Miami 2-0. Matching Bills at the top. Our other probably game of the week was Jets Cleveland. And I am an NFC East,
AFC.
AFC East dude, Patriots guy. Normally it's not etiquette to cheer for division rivals,
Agreed.
but if the Bucks were playing the Browns, you'd be cheering for the Bucks.
To some degree.
And I was cheering for the Jets. because first of all, Flacco, just unbelievable story. That guy is like always somehow finding a way back. And then Cleveland can just like they deserve L's after L's. But just an unbelievable comeback from these guys. Down 30-17 and after a wide open tutty to Corey Davis, they recover the onside kick and then charge back for another touchdown to Garrett Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
And then boom diggity. After a pick from Brissett, they're catching the dub back to MetLife.
Oh yeah.
What were your thoughts on just like the Jets coming back in that?
Oh man, the Jets coming back in that, it was just like the whole thing is the onside kick. None of that happens without the onside kick and Amari Cooper just fucking the dog on that one.
Yeah, out of all guys too, right?
Yeah, right? Like he should have jumped for the ball and instead he waited. And when you wait for a ball to come to you, chances are the guy who's going towards the ball is going to grab it.
Or they're
And
gonna get like a hand on it or something like that, or like
just knock it away from whoever's trying to grab it. So yeah, like as soon as I saw that happen, I'm like, the Jets are winning this game. Like
yeah,
they have so much momentum. It would be hard for Cleveland to do anything, and they didn't do anything. They absolutely fucked the dog.
yeah. It was it's hard to like be in those situations when you have Brissett because you just never know what you're gonna get from him. He could deliver on the odd parts,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just a lot of times you can't really trust him to like bring you that game winning drive. And
This was one of those times.
yeah, he kind of just fell flat. Like he was maybe getting a couple first downs a drive and then 3-0.
Yeah.
And when you're not in field goal range, like it was one of those situations where they just couldn't get anything going. And the Jets capitalized on that and got one of the most exciting plays in football is recovering an onside kick.
Mm-hmm.
And they took advantage of that as well. So shouts out to them. And Amari Cooper finally had a decent day before the onside
Before
kick.
the onside kick. Yeah.
He had about 110 and a touchdown. So it's good to see him finally like because I was scared that he wasn't gonna have any of these games with Brissett at quarterback, but he finally got into open space and
It was good to
delivered.
see.
Yeah. It was good to see. But Jets 31, Cleveland 10. Um Washington and Detroit.
Woo!
Second straight game, Detroit putting up 35 plus.
Absolute offensive mastermind at the helm right now. And
Just
Jared Goff
crazy.
playing like maybe MVP level Jared Goff right now. Like
Yeah,
what is this? He's throwing like 8 touchdowns in 2 games.
he's playing unbelievable right now.
Oh yeah. No, 100%. I
Um,
think here I could look at the stat line right now. Yeah, Jared Goff, 4 touchdowns, no picks, 20 of 34 for 250 yards. But I think the real star of the show for this and the real like up and comer is Amon-Ra St. Brown. He had like 180 total yards with rushing and receiving and 2 touchdowns. Like this guy is diamond in the rough,
yeah.
absolute diamond in the rough of that wide receiver class last year. And he's so fucking good.
Deliver that stat that like Scott Hansen like it was going around the NFL. In case people didn't hear, but you told me it
Yes,
was that eight
yes.
straight with like 8+ catches and a touchdown or some shit like that.
No, Amon-Ra St. Brown is only the third player in NFL history with I think it's 7 consecutive games has 8 receptions, which just shows how much of a target beast he is. And he
Yeah.
joins Michael Thomas and Antonio Brown, two very elite wide receivers. Uh, obviously in their prime. I don't really know about Michael Thomas and ending his prime, so to say, but we can talk about that later. But Antonio Brown definitely past his fountain of youth, I'd say.
Yeah. That's a pretty safe bet. It's a safe money line to bet
Yeah.
on that Antonio Brown is past his prime. But no, DeAndre Swift also is just like showing again how explosive he can be. Maybe didn't necessarily have the most productive game, but I felt that a lot of his plays were like called back after an explosive run. It was either like a holding or like a block in the back or something. But
Yo,
no,
he went 5 carries, 56 yards, and 2 receptions, 31 yards and a touchdown.
and that was with a 50-yard run.
Yeah.
So
Saquon stat line right
yeah, it was
there.
such a Saquon stat line. Uh, 5 attempts for 6 yards, and then breaks off a 55-yard run, and then his stat line just looks so much more averaged out.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean Detroit is, dude, they're making noise right now in the NFC North, dude.
They are making noise, man.
Like they're sitting at like if I, dude, last week putting up 35 and losing to the Eagles. Like that's just so hard.
Tough.
And then you think like that could be a it could go one of two ways. Either it's really deflating, like, bro, what do we got? What else do we have to do? Put up 35 and lose, or it could be like, yo, we Eagles were coming in to this year with like a highly
Highly
ranked
touted
defense,
defense. Yeah.
and we just put 35 up on their head tops. We
Well,
could be, they're like, we could be legit this year,
exactly.
and they come out again. And yeah, say what you want about Washington, they're not the strongest team this year, but
They were a
they,
highly touted defense last year. Like,
yeah,
not
and
much
then
has changed.
and Detroit's not the highest rated offense, and they
No.
just put 36 up on them. Like
Yeah.
Detroit is no one to be messed with this year, and I think they're putting their stamp on the league this, especially early on, a couple weeks in. Um, no one can take the Lions lightly, and I'm excited to
No.
see how they finish off the rest of the year. But Carson Wentz still had a pretty productive day, 337 yards and 3 touchdowns with a pick. Um, It's good to see him finally kind of back in form. His stint in Indy wasn't necessarily successful, but he's making some pretty good noise here in Washington. Um,
Agreed.
Curtis Samuel is back to his old ways in Carolinas. He had 7 receptions for 78 yards and a touchdown. So, and Dotson, their rookie wide receiver, made a pretty good stamp on this game as well. 4 for 59 and a touchdown. So Washington's offense is actually playing pretty good this year. Unfortunately couldn't get the win this week, but I'm happy to see Detroit not in the dumps early on
Agreed.
because I think they've played better than what the record says. I know it's early, but
100%.
they play good enough to be 2-0 right now.
Oh, big block by Minnesota on Philly on a,
Really?
yeah, block field goal.
Wow. That's massive.
Jeez.
Yeah, I don't have the game on right now. I don't want to battle with my TV right here because I don't have but
I can give live score updates, but yeah, no, that I mean I know we were just talking about Philly's defense. Um, but like Minnesota only has 7 points on, the Eagles defense. So could it have just been a week one wonder, or is Detroit's offense actually like a really fine-tuned machine? Because they got players at every position. It's just obviously quarterback's kind of the outlier, but I mean Goff is playing Goff is playing like Dan Campbell is literally his dad, and he's like,
yeah.
just go out there, make me proud, son.
Yeah. No, like you've seen Goff do this in LA when they went to the Super Bowl.
Hmm.
When he has a well put together offense around him, he is capable of putting together games that can play with the best of them.
Yeah.
And now that you have Amon-Ra, St. Brown, DJ Chark is a fine receiver. TJ Hawkinson is also really good.
Except he didn't
Um,
look really good on Sunday.
they just like don't throw to him, but like I mean, he did drop a few passes, but he's a good tight end to throw to. And
Yes.
they are getting Jameson Williams this year.
Yep.
The
Another 4 or 5 weeks or so.
the unbelievable rookie receiver from Bama.
Yeah.
And they're building that Dan Campbell defense. So I think Jared Goff is capable of playing like highly rated average, like
Hmm.
on like above average, and being a good quarterback.
Hmm.
And it could just be a fun team to watch this year. I don't know
I
if they're
agree.
going to go deep, but I just think they can be super competitive, and that's a massive step up from last year.
100%. And it's good to see Aiden Hutchinson uh fucking rip it up.
Oh
Three
yeah,
sacks in the first half.
yeah,
Like I know he didn't
he's
do anything in the second half, but I mean, it's no shed of getting 3 sacks in the first half.
he's skipping that defensive rookie of the year and going for defensive player of the year.
It's coming up like that Micah Parsons.
Yeah,
Yeah.
who's also having defensive player of the year so far.
Jesus Christ, yeah.
Um, Indy, Jacksonville.
Ugh,
Want something about Indy and Jacksonville. They can't win in Fort Lauderdale.
nope.
Don't know what it is
Oh,
about them.
Kirk just threw another pick, by the way.
He threw an.
Yeah.
What do you mean another? He already has one
He
tonight.
yeah, he threw it on back-to-back drives now.
For fuck's sakes! I got him in redraft.
Hey, he's not helping you win tonight right now, man.
I mean, like, if I don't win this,
Oh, and he was throwing it to Thielen too.
LMAO. If I don't win this, I'm losing 96, or I guess 97.2
Mhm.
to 95.1. So this is either going to be a really bad beat, or I should win this.
Yeah, or you
But
should come out with a victory.
it's Kirk Cousins on prime time.
Oof.
Literally, if he throws for 50 yards
That could be the
and
difference.
just my dog's barking. And then just run the ball. I don't need anything crazy out of you, Kirk. Please. But yeah, Indy Jacksonville. Something about Indy and not being able to win in Jacksonville. It continues on from last year. Jacksonville doesn't even just beat Indy, it shuts them out 24 to nothing. Matt Ryan, nothing to offer. He had 3 interceptions. Uh, Trevor Lawrence played well. Christian Kirk is playing up to his contract.
Yep.
So I don't know what Doug Peterson is. He shot some confidence into this offense,
Truly the quarterback whisperer.
like Trevor Lawrence didn't play anything like fucking crazy, but last week when we watched him, Trevor Lawrence got no help.
No.
Everything was dropped, and it was just like unfortunate. But yeah, Christian Kirk had like nearly 80 yards and a touchdown.
Two
Trevor Lawrence,
touchdowns.
he had 2. Yeah, he did have
Two.
2 touchdowns. He's playing well, man. He's taking advantage of his opportunity.
Definitely.
What do you gotta say about this? Anything
Um,
that stood out to you from this game?
yeah, the Colts are looking very, very concerning. They didn't get any run game going with the best running back in the league. Um, and right now it's looking like Nick Chubb is running away with, everything because he's so good. And it's like, come on, man. You're versing the Jags. Like the Jags really haven't improved much on D, but it's that Fort Lauderdale curse, man. Like there's something in the water at Jacksonville that just makes Indianapolis freak the fuck out.
Yeah. It honestly is weird. And like Matt Ryan isn't this bad. I had Colts winning this division, and it just like Jacksonville is sitting atop of it right now. Because my Tennessee ain't winning tonight.
No,
Uh,
and these first 2 games for like the other top 2 teams are just very telling of who their or what their identity is.
is Frank Reich on the hot seat?
Oh, 100%. Frank Wright, Matt Rule, both are on the hot seat.
Matt Rule was on there before the season started.
No, I know, but it's like, oh, I signed a new quarterback, guys. Give me another another year, and it's like, okay, come on, dude.
How many times are you gonna do this?
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, Frank Reich, like if he gets swept by both Jacksonville and Houston, I mean, I know you didn't. If you tie
He didn't,
Houston, you
yeah,
lost to Houston. You
yeah,
know,
pretty much, yeah.
if you get swept by them, I think that's a
Not looking
fireable
good.
offense right there. And it's just you're playing. They're so lucky that they're just not in a good division because they still have a chance at this somehow.
In some way.
But yeah, they're 0-1-1 when they should be 2-0. They're better than both of these teams. And Matt Ryan just it looks like his age is catching up to him. He's 16 for 30 with 3 picks and under
Mm-hmm.
200 yards. Like that's not a professional quarterback stat line. And
No.
same goes with Jacksonville with Detroit. I'm just excited to see what they have to offer for the rest of the season because it looks like they got a little bit more pep in their step than last year.
Agreed.
Um, your your boys, Tampa Nola.
Jeez.
Um, massive brawl. Mike Evans suspended 1 game.
Good.
Um, totally deserving.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And I'm happy that no one else, especially on New Orleans, that got suspended because maybe I understand like um when they did kick Lattimore and Evans out, I kind of understood it because I just didn't think the refs wanted to escalate anymore because Lattimore would have then maybe had a target on his back. So it's just like, hey, just we'll take out
I
Evans.
agree, but here's my big thing. Like, I'll say my 2 cents on it and go from there. I see a lot of people saying Lattimore started it first when he didn't. Tom Brady was the one that got pissy because he thought it was a pass interference, and I mean, I don't think it was. It was hand fighting all the way, and Scotty Miller didn't try and do anything because he just got leveraged out. And then Brady ran down there and started chirping at Lattimore. Lattimore chirps back. Fournette gets in his face and starts it. Marshawn retaliates, and then Evans comes out of nowhere. I truthfully should have been or would have thought if Evans got ejected and Lattimore got ejected, why didn't Fournette get ejected? Because he was the one that started it, and he was the one that also kind of retaliated with Lattimore. And then one big thing that not a lot of people noticed, but I noticed it right away too. Why is Bruce Arians on the field?
Yeah,
You know?
I don't know why he's on there. He should be in the booth.
And it looks like the NFL is actually reviewing Bruce Arians never stepping foot on the field because it's like that's not his position. He's not a coach, trainer, or player, and no other like media or no other people are supposed to be down there. So it's just all a very confusing situation. But all in all, yeah, I totally deserving. Mike Evans gets suspended, and like there's no room for that. There's no room for that in the league. Like no one's gonna look at you and think, "Wow, you're a good player for cheap shotting some guy."
Or you're a tough guy. No one's gonna.
Yeah, like you're not
Yeah,
a tough guy. You're a bitch. Like you're just going after him. And at the time, it was only 3-3. Like you're not helping your team. So everyone who's like just hopping on the he has his quarterback's back. Like, no, if he had his quarterback's back, he wouldn't have done some dumb shit like that.
and I think what Fournette was doing was enough. Like Fournette had like okay, what I'm trying to say is if that's not Lattimore, Evans isn't doing that. It's just the history that Lattimore and Evans have with each other. That's why Evans did that.
Oh
Like I
yeah.
almost like put a guarantee on that. And I think what Fournette was doing was enough. Like I don't think what Fournette was doing was deserving of an ejection. Um, I think it was what like the degree of what Evans did was what got him ejected because that's like you can legit hurt someone like really bad doing that, like a running start and full on putting your shoulder into them.
Oh yeah.
Like that's like you can injure someone. Fournette was just within arm's length and just started shoving him because he probably heard some shit that we couldn't hear and
Oh,
just didn't like
definitely.
that. And so what Fournette was doing was fine. Evans deserved to get ejected. Lattimore didn't deserve to get ejected, and he didn't. Um, but that's all I'm saying is that like with what Lattimore kind of like he would have had a target on his back to make the refs to
Had to
give him
do
more of a
something like this
headache.
again.
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
just had to like they just didn't want a headache for the rest of the game, so they're like, "Hey, you two, you're done." And
I know,
I
but like,
I just think
is
it was
that really
because
a way to go about it? Like, you're taking off literally the best player on defense for New Orleans,
and
like,
they took off one of the best offensive players for Tampa. And
but
yes, he
rightfully
does.
deserved.
Yeah, I know, but like I'm just saying because also what Lattimore did when he got out of the skirmish is like he started mixing it up with someone else. And
No, I think
like
he kept going with Brady.
no, it was someone else, dude.
Did he
He
just did
yeah,
he keep going? Okay, I don't. I
he
remember like he tackled Mike Evans with Marcus May,
and then he got
and
up and started getting into it with another Bucks player. So I think Lattimore
okay,
was just going around to different guys and just like his adrenaline was going.
yeah, and rightful, yeah, I
So
like anyone's adrenaline would have been
yeah.
going after that
So
shit.
I think that's why he got ejected was just like, hey, like you're just done for the game. Like whatever.
Yeah, no,
And then I'm just happy he didn't get suspended because Lattimore didn't like
do anything to
anything
get
suspension
suspended. Yeah,
worthy. But I can understand it just like, just to derail the turmoil. Just I don't know. But
yeah, no, yeah, it's tough because Paulson Adebo, cornerback two for New Orleans, unfortunately has been injured. So it kind of felt like the game was done after that in my eyes. Like it was going to take a miracle, especially with it only being 3-3. Both defenses were playing well, but then you get some fucking fluky ass calls that go one way and
yeah.
lead to a touchdown, and then you got some bad coaching with having 12 people out on a punting down. Like all those happened in synchronization, and then Jameis trying to play hero ball obviously has this 3-pick game. Yeah, everyone come after him, but it's like nothing. And one thing that didn't break until Sunday morning, like Jameis was playing with 4 fractures in his back. Like, why wasn't this reported during the week?
Yeah, that kind of surprised me as well.
I would have been like, fuck it, just put Dalton in there. Like, because I don't want Jameis getting hurt, because if, bad confidence game happens like this, what's it gonna do to him?
And he took some hits too.
He took some hits. Yeah, he got sacked 4 times, I think.
Yeah.
And that's another issue. Like New Orleans defense, man, they're like the run game was good. The pass game only allowed 190 yards, but there's no sacks. And we literally healthy scratched our first round pick from last year. So that's very concerning as a New Orleans guy. But I mean, shit just has like you got to throw shit at the ceiling and see if it sticks. And
Yeah.
I hope we can get a good bounce back game.
Yeah. Who do they play
We
next week?
play Carolina next week.
Dude, you have 3 straight
Yeah,
divisional games?
yeah, and then we go to London.
That's insane.
I know, but I mean, good. I like that. Get them out of the way.
Yeah, seriously. But your Brady regression prediction um isn't looking too bad. He hasn't looked good in the first 2 weeks. Um so that prediction ain't looking too bad for you there.
Hmm.
And yeah, I don't think Jameis is like I think he's better than what he played. A lot of I mean, he did throw a few bad passes, but a few of them were just good plays on the defense. So
Oh yeah, no,
we'll
definitely.
he's gonna play better next week if he does play next week. We'll see how he recovers. But yeah, 20-10 for the Bucks. They'll have no Mike Evans next week. Carolina, New York. The Giants are 2-0, which is something you don't necessarily see often.
I have another
Um,
stat for you, actually.
hit me.
So I just want you to take a guess. Okay, I'll tell you right now. It's between 2,000 and 4,000 days since this last happened. When do you think the last time the Giants, Jets, uh, Lions and Jaguars won all on the same day.
I'm gonna say 2,900 days.
You're pretty fucking close.
Really?
Yeah, it's just around like 3,000 some odd days, almost 11 years
Wow,
since the Giants, Jets, Lions, and Jags all won on the same Sunday.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's unreal. It was also another stat. I saw it on. It was pretty close to that though. I think it was since 2009. It was the first time that the Yankees, Mets, Jets, and Giants won on the same day
Hmm.
or same weekend or something like that. It was like the first time that it happened that they all won in the same weekend.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but
It's
so
funny just to see the bad franchises play
I
like
know,
decent
and
for a day.
like they're all like the have the highest value in their sport, and
Hmm.
they haven't won shit in so long.
Yeah, it's so funny to
That
see.
maybe the Yankees, but yeah, Baker didn't have a good game. He was under 50% passing. Daniel Jones didn't look good either. If anything, he was maybe worse. He should have had an interception as well. He threw right to the Carolina linebacker.
Don't know how it didn't get picked off on that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, it was surprising. Saquon 20 carries for 72 yards. Nothing too bad. Uh Kenny Golladay, absolutely nothing.
He played two snaps.
That's all he played?
I think he ran two
Bro,
routes and he's making $21 million this year.
that is so New York. That is
Yeah.
so funny. But yeah, this game I paid zero attention to.
Yeah,
I'll
it
be
was
honest.
literally just is Saquon gonna score?
Yeah, I don't have a lot to offer for this game. I'll be completely honest. Christian McCaffrey had 15 carries for 100 yards. That's pretty good in terms of averagings. DJ Moore found the end zone as well for a 43-yard score. But yeah, that's literally it. Like, there's nothing
Hmm.
this game that I found gravitated
Interesting.
towards. So we're just gonna move on.
Sounds good.
Uh, my Patriots found their first. They broke the goose egg in the win column as they beat the Steelers 17-14. This game was also a crapshoot. Um, it
It was the easiest under I think we've ever taken in our
oh,
lives.
I saw that shit and I'm like, this is my lock of the week. I'm pretty sure I said that to you when like, we put in
On
that
Friday,
parlay.
yeah.
I was like, this is the lock. And you're like, what? I was like, Patriots Steelers under. And you're like, oh yeah. And I'm like,
Yeah.
Steelers defense. Like the Steelers and Patriots strengths of their team is their defense, and the other teams have Mac Jones and Trubisky at quarterback, two guys who don't necessarily sling the ball downfield.
Hmm.
And Patriots have Patricia and Judge running the offense.
Yeah. Absolute
40,
masterminds.
40 is way too high, and it got to 31.
Yeah.
So shout out to us. But yeah, Mac Jones 250, 1-1, touchdown and a pick. We did run the ball well. Damian Harris had 70 yards and a touchdown. Ramondre Stevenson had 47 off of 9 attempts. Mac Jones ran crazy, 7 carries for 6 yards. But one thing I do want to say that I was really happy to see Nelson Aguilar made
Beautiful
himself
catch.
relevant. Made himself relevant. He mossed, I think, Witherspoon, if
Yeah,
I'm not mistaken.
Witherspoon. Yeah.
Um, that was a beautiful catch. It was good to see him find the end zone. He's finally did something worth his contract somewhat. Jacoby Myers, I'm glad to see him getting more targets in action. He had 9 for 95. Couldn't find the end zone, but he's putting a stamp into this offense a bit more, which I'm happy to see. I saw Mac Jones throw the ball downfield more, and it was good to see because I just want to see him like at least keep the defense a bit more on their toes in terms of
Hmm.
like not so many throws like under screen passes, like kind of make him play honest. Send some deep routes down there, and he did throw some good passes, but just couldn't capitalize on one of them. He did throw a bad interception to Minka, threw
And
into double.
almost threw another bad interception as
Yeah.
well. Yeah.
He threw into double coverage to Johnny, if I'm not mistaken. Just wasn't a good choice.
Hmm.
That'd be like a pass I'd make in Madden. And like, oh shit, the safety over the top blended in with the logo, and I was like, fuck, didn't see him. But yeah, happy we got the win, but it was terrible. It was just a gritty win. Mitchell Trubisky, I won't be surprised if he doesn't get the start next week. 21 for 33, 168 yards, a pick, and a touchdown. He offered nothing. He offered nothing. So, um, I wouldn't mind throwing if I were the Pittsburgh Steelers. I wouldn't mind throwing Pickett in there just to see what he does because Trubisky isn't really offering anything. But
Hmm.
we're gonna go over to LA Atlanta. LA comes off with a 31-27 win.
Jesus Christ.
Atlanta kind of came back in this
It was
game.
it was literally 28-3, and they're like, "Oh fuck, it's our time now, baby." And
Yeah,
then
let's
Jalen
go.
Ramsey actually had a really good interception
Yeah, he must
right at the
someone.
goal line. Yeah, it was good and real big star of the show. Um, Drake London is better than Kyle Pitts? Question mark. Like, I think consistency with Kyle Pitts here. In 2 games has both the exact same stat line: 2 receptions, 19 yards.
Wow.
Mr. Consistent. But no, Drake London put on a performance against Ramsey and Williams as well, and it was
Why
it
don't
was
I
actually very, very beautiful to see.
why don't I see Drake London on NFL.com here?
I don't know, but he had 8 receptions for 86 yards and a touchdown.
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
I literally his name isn't on under the receiving tab on NFL.com.
That's pretty sussy.
Yeah, I was like Drake London, he could be better than Kyle Pitts, but I don't have any evidence on why he would be. But yeah, no. What was the stat line again? 8 for 87 and a touchdown?
8 for 86 and a touchdown.
Yeah, like that's really productive. And um Mariota is like he kind of lost his touch since his rookie year, and it's good to see him kind of producing with not necessarily a standard like slinging quarterback. So
I
if
agree.
he can make it work with that, then I mean, the hell. I can't make it with something better. But Stafford threw up a couple picks as well, 3 touchdowns, 270. Cooper Cup just is doing it again, I
Yeah, what
guess.
a surprise. 11
11
receptions, 100 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
like okay.
Yeah, and I think
Sick.
actually Matthew Stafford listened to us.
Yeah, he listened to the episode.
Yeah, he did. He's like, "Damn, guys, I'm not racist. Okay, I'll
Yeah,
throw it to the black guy once." And his Allen Robinson's first like catch of the game, I think, was that 6-yard
it
touchdown.
was a little fade to the corner of the end zone there.
So that was really good, but no, he ended up getting another 3 receptions and tacking on a total of 53 yards, and that was really good.
Yeah.
He
And Cam Akers, he produced.
touched the ball.
He got majority of the work. He had 15 carries for 44 yards. Henderson still outproduced him.
Yep.
10 carries for 47 and a touchdown. But it's good to see Cam Akers get that monkey off the back after that terrible, terrible week one.
No,
Um,
definitely.
everyone knew that was an outlier week. He's not actually that bad, but it was definitely an important game for him this week to bounce back after that, especially coming into the season off of a good end to last season. He was running the ball well, going into playoffs and stuff. And coming into this year with pretty high expectations, and then not producing week one. It was important for him to do it this week. But yeah, Ramsey coming up with that clutch interception at the goal line. That
Hmm.
was massive. Good, excuse me, confidence booster for him after all the narratives around him the past couple of weeks being cooked and stuff like that.
Hmm.
So yeah, that was massive for him. Seattle, San Francisco. Very unfortunate news as Trey Lance is now out for the year with ankle surgery. I was gonna post the clip that I cut from last episode of Trey Lance and us figuring out his career timeline, not playing since 2019, but I felt that it wouldn't be out of respect since he just got hurt.
Yeah.
But very unfortunate because it's just he's still not gonna have the he's still gonna be like a new quarterback in the fucking league when he comes back because he still
Yep.
only has 4 starts in the NFL or 3 starts. He came in last year for 6 games, and started 2, but he still hasn't yet to gain momentum as a starting quarterback in the NFL. And this is only going to set him back, especially as a mobile quarterback with an ankle injury. Um, Typically, though, like if it was a break, um, but it shouldn't linger as bad as like a sprain or something. But I just from left side heavy, we wish Trey Lance the best in recovery. But Jimmy G came in.
Jimmy
Um,
G lit it up.
yeah, he threw a touchdown in it was either first or second drive, but 13 of 21, pretty efficient. 154 yards and a touchdown. Um, Debo did his work rushing for 53 yards. Caught for 44. So nothing crazy from Debo, but you kind of see him the versatility of him.
Hmm.
But again, not a ton from this. DJ Dallas may have thrown the
The
worst ball I've
worst.
ever seen.
Oh, dude, that was so funny. I remember us watching that. I was like, oh my God, that was fucking awful.
We were like, did that slip out of his hands? And it was just like, no, that was just like a really bad pass.
Yeah, no, that was god awful. I also just want to say this isn't the way that I'd wish that Garoppolo would come into the season. I'm probably the biggest guy that we know that says I think the 49ers are better with Garoppolo. I really do hope that Lance does get better because injuries are no way to riddle a season.
Yeah.
Like I hate that. I hate when a player gets injured, especially on such a freak accident too. Like he went down awkwardly and then just got like
Pancaked.
pancaked. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So
Like
yeah, prayers up to him.
imagine being in a vulnerable position and then 340 pounds lands on you.
Yeah, no,
And it's
exactly. It's just
like
not the most fun time.
yeah, like that's not gonna make the situation any better
No,
whatsoever.
not at
But
all.
I just like because this isn't gonna this is gonna control the narrative of him, and he's
Yeah,
just
exactly.
not gonna be able to get like yeah he's gotten a few chances, but like when your chances come sporadically, you're not really given a chance because
No,
you need to like get some reps under your belt, and he just still has he's gonna have to wait another year for that, and that just sucks for him. But 49ers are just back to their Super Bowl days. Like they got their guy. He's not gonna he's a handsome Teddy Bridgewater. He's
yeah,
not gonna make too many mistakes.
which is
Didn't
exactly what they need.
he didn't when he came in 13-21 with 155 and a touchdown, like I
And
said.
one on the ground too.
So yeah, all the best for Trey Lance, like you said. Hey, you said it perfectly. Geno Smith. Um, the sparks have to die out at some point.
It only took about 6 days longer than it should have.
Yeah. 20 Russell Wilson is punching the air right now. He's like, where was this last week in Seattle?
Yeah, no,
But
literally.
yeah, Geno Smith was actually kind of efficient, 24 of 30. Just never got the ball downfield, 197 yards and a pick. Um, yeah, so Tyler Lockett had a productive day, had 107 yards, led the team in targets and receptions.
DK Metcalf probably made the best catch that just didn't count that we've
Yeah,
seen in a while as well. That over the head, just straight up mossing
a
of a player.
one-handed Moss, you don't see that often.
No, not
Yeah,
that often.
yeah, it just sucks for him. But Seattle kind of, I wasn't expecting 27-7, but I was expecting San Francisco to win this game.
Yeah.
But all right, moving on to the next one. We got upset alert from what I would say.
Yep.
Cowboys taking it over the Bengals, 20-17. Cooper Rush season, baby. Um, I'm not happy about this because I had Bengals defense. And when I just saw Cooper Rush piecing up the defense, I'm like,
Bro,
you
it's
got
Cooper Rush.
like, bro, you gotta be kidding me. Uh, since he provided nothing. T. Higgins coming back, he had a monster game, 6 for 71 and a touchdown. He played well, but Jamar Chase was silent. Joe Mixon was
Oh,
silent. Joe
Cousins just
Burrow,
threw another pick. I'm sorry.
you're lying, dude.
No.
Dude, how am I gonna lose this week when all I needed?
Darius
Oh,
Slay picked him off again.
bro.
Yeah.
What is it about Kirk and primetime, dude?
Yeah, like it wasn't even close to. I hate to
Dude,
say it.
how can someone be that bad in primetime?
Yeah, and the worst thing about this too, Jalen Hurts literally was picked off 4 plays before this in the 20s.
Dude, that puts me down one.
Oh man, I'm so sorry. Continue on though. The Bengals, fucking sucking.
Yeah, Joe, like I was the bounce back favorite this week was Joe Burrow. And again, 24-36, just like under 200 yards passing and a touchdown. Like, are the Bengals in trouble down 0-2 right now? Like, are they pressing the panic button?
Yeah, honestly, they definitely be pressing the panic button right now because this is just not uh acceptable. Jamar Chase, 5 receptions, 54 yards. Like that's not what number one numbers are supposed to do, you know? And Trayvon Diggs actually held him down, which like good for him,
Which
you know?
he's probably has like the same kind of narratives around him as Tua.
Yeah, literally
Where,
like a prove it year kind of like you have a
yeah,
and that's the thing too, like they have a good defense. They have great linebackers, they have corners and safety depth, and then a decent defensive line.
yeah,
Like, yeah, I don't even know what to kind of make of this game, just because it's like I thought the Bengals defense would have played. I thought the Bengals defense could have won this game over Cooper Rush, but instead Cooper Rush actually he wasn't even highly efficient either. It was 19 of 31, 235 and a touchdown.
yeah.
And Zeke just doesn't have that juice anymore. It's all Pollard. It's like grind him down with Zeke and then do a little pitch out to Pollard and just have him run with it.
Yeah, Pollard's like the change of speed guy. Like
Literally is.
they go to him after it because he provides a completely different set of skills than Zeke.
Yeah,
Zeke is the power north-south runner. I'm just gonna keep my legs churning until you bring me down.
yeah.
And nowadays that's down pretty quick. But Pollard just he comes firing out of the he's
Once
like
he
a
hits a hole, he's
he's
fucking gone.
he's a cannonball, dude. Like he just comes like top speed right as he gets the ball in the backfield. And he 9 carries, 43 yards, much more, just under 5 yards a carry.
Yeah,
I think he is like the go-to back, but I think they just have to give majority of the workload to Zeke because of his contract. Like I
yeah.
think that's playing a big part of it, where it's like, well, like we have to play you because we're paying you so much money. But Pollard is the better back, I think. He's just much more efficient and just he brings more life to this offense, I think.
He definitely does. He is that spark plug.
Yeah, exactly. So Bengals, y'all got to figure it out because your defense looked terrible. You can't really let Cooper Rush piece you up like that. Like if Dak was playing, it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was yeah, it wasn't good. Moving on. Yeah, Cowboys 20, Bengals 17. Another game that was kind of a stinker that I don't want to really stay on too long. Denver winning 16-9. Russell Wilson, that contract might age fucking poorly because he just has not been playing well whatsoever. What was his line?
14 of 31 for 219, a touchdown, and a pick.
Like that
Yeah,
is
that's
ugly.
fucking god awful, man. Like, but you know what? I I don't want to just chalk it up to Russell Wilson. Nathaniel Hackett, man. This this has been a shit show of the first 2 weeks. Like, how are you
Yeah.
barely escaping a win versus the Texans?
Yeah.
And you didn't even beat Seattle, man.
Like Denver's had similar matchups to the Colts, right? You
Yes,
can Seattle, Jacksonville, Houston, they're all kind of in that realm.
agreed.
And combined, they're 1, 2, and 1.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah, no, that's pretty fucking terrible.
they should like Denver and Indy should be 2-0, but Denver like 16 points. They're lucky that they're playing Houston because that's not going to beat anyone else in the league.
No.
And like they got they got away with one. Cortland Sutton, he had a good game.
Have a day.
He had a good game at least.
Although he
Yeah,
got fucking crunched multiple times.
yeah. I mean, look at this. 7 receptions and the next guy down is 2.
Yeah.
Like he got all the work, 122 yards, couldn't find the end zone. Unfortunately, Judy went out with a shoulder injury. He's questionable for next week. But other than that, there's not really anything to be productive. I just remember seeing at one point Wilson was like what 3 for 12 for like 30 yards or something.
Yeah, something
Like
like that. Something just fucking crazy, man.
yeah, so either the offense needs to change or Russell Wilson just needs to get better.
Yep.
But uh yeah, we'll just move on. Arizona Vegas. Um, I is it fair to say that this is an upset alert? Maybe a minor one.
This no,
Um,
this is a huge upset alert.
yeah.
Vegas had this game in control. What was it, like 20-3 at a time? And then all of a sudden Arizona just decides to fucking actually do something. It was 20-0
Wow.
at halftime. And then it
Wow.
was 23-7.
Yeah, that is not gonna win you. That's terrible, man. You can't give that up, dude. You
No,
can't give that you can't give up that type of lead.
no.
Play of the game, Kyler Murray, that 20-second.
That
Uh
21-second, 85 yards ran 2-point conversion.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like
that was
that was crazy. Like that was just patience overload and just like yeah, the defense was kind of majority of the defense was sitting in the end zone like playing coverage and like trying to get a coverage sack, I guess. But like two defensive linemen aren't gonna sack Kyler Murray when he has open space. Like he's gonna
no.
find something. Like he's only gonna get prevented from getting in the end zone. He's not getting sacked.
Hmm.
But
I agree.
what you want to say what you want about Kyler, that was really impressive to like have the speed and the wheels and just the patience to buy time and like find the 2 point conversion because like it like that was a massive play and he he came up when he needed to. Like
Hmm.
that was huge, dude.
No,
This
it was. And you know what? Like, I'll give my flowers to Kyler Murray, but I mean, like, he didn't play,
he played great.
fantastically. It was
Yeah.
31 of 49, 277, a touchdown and a pick, and one hell of a and he had he had a rushing touchdown, 5 rushes, 28 yards. I'll give him my flowers. I said he was an athletic freak. I said he was good, but like he played very mediocre. I think this was more of a Las Vegas loss
Then Arizona win.
than an Arizona win. Like Hunter Renfro, man. Hunter Renfro was up with me for points. I think it was like 5.3 points in a non PPR. And I'm like, that's fine. You're my wide receiver 3. I know some games you're probably gonna have like a 5 to 10 point game. I'm not mad. And then in 2 back-to-back plays, he minuses me 3.5 points. And it's like, what the fuck, man?
Well, dude, Devontae Adams, 2 receptions, 12 yards, a touchdown.
It's like, okay, congratulations. You were like 18 targets last week, and now you're 2 this week. So you're averaging 10 a week, which is what should be Devontae Adams. Like he should mix in everyone, but like now Derek Carr listened to the episode last week and he's like, fine, you want me to spread it around? I will.
Yeah.
He
Seriously.
listened to the episode as well, but that one you're doing it too much now.
Yeah,
Like,
like Mac Hollins should not be leading your team in reception.
no, there's no
Like
way Matt Collins should be.
like no disrespect, brother, but he should not be leading the team. Like Darren Waller finally had a pretty decent game. Unlike last week, he couldn't really did he even yeah, he played last week, just couldn't get
Yep,
anything going. But he had 50 yards and a touchdown. Um,
yep,
but
good
yeah,
touchdown too.
yeah, just like you gotta feed Devontae Adams more. It's he should be the majority shareholder of receptions every single week because he is your
Agreed.
guy. He's going to get everything going. You need to get that offense going. Throw to Devontae Adams because there's a 95% chance that he's open or he's going
Yeah,
to catch it because he's the best route runner in the league and he can go up and get a ball. You got to get him. You got to throw it to him. You got to find a way to get because he's good in open space too. He's just a really good all around receiver and you just got to find a way to get him the ball.
no, you're right.
Whether that's a screen, a slant, out
Anything.
route, fade. Find a way, dude.
Yeah,
Find a way. And Josh McDaniel will agree with that.
yeah.
Or Josh McDaniels will agree with that. Like he should be drawing up more plays to get him the ball.
Mhm.
And but yeah, that was a bad beat by Vegas. Um that's not going to really fly especially in a competitive division like the AFC West. Any lead that you have, especially 3 scores like they were, you can't really be doing that.
No,
Can't be doing that at all. All right, where are we at now?
I
Let's
think we're on
go.
to Sunday night.
Sunday night. Green Bay, Chicago. I think Fields threw 11 times, 12 times.
11 times. Oh my God.
He threw 11 times. 7-11 always open. 24 hours, 70 yards and a pick. Just terrible.
Oh my God, man.
Like that is like you need to throw the ball more. At least fucking try.
I Matt Eberflus, man, like that. How do you have more rushing attempts than passing attempts and you lost?
Like that
Like
that's
if the run
bad.
game was working, I'd be all for just not running it. Mac Jones last year 3 times, right? But they won the game.
Yeah.
This wasn't even close. The Packers or the Bears had a great first drive with
Yeah.
Justin Fields running and scoring, and then just nothing.
Yeah, legit nothing. Like Montgomery ran the hell out of the ball, but so did the other fucking guy on the other side of the field. He ran the ball better. And Rodgers threw the ball.
Yeah, man. No, Aaron Jones was absolutely insane on the ground and through the air.
Yeah, 38 yards and a touchdown receiving, 132 running with a touchdown. Rodgers didn't stand out too much. 19 of 25 for 234 touchdown, a couple of touchdowns. This is what I've noticed though. There hasn't been a lot of great QB plays this week. It's been a lot of pretty
Yeah, pretty
average, like
mediocre. Yeah,
without the looks of like Mahomes, Herbert, which both of them didn't play great either, but like Lamar and Tua, there's no
pacing
one I
out
can really think of that's
until
like,
tonight.
yeah, Josh Allen.
Yeah,
But
and
like
Jalen Hurts.
but like fucking Kirk Cousins, who we'll get to in just a hot second. That guy is like him and it's Russell Wilson goal lines, Kirk Cousins prime time.
Yeah, very equal level.
It's just like what the fuck, dude? Figure it out. But that's one yeah, I think that's the narrative of this entire weekend if I had to sum it up was um the QB play was pretty average.
Pretty porous.
It was a lot of good defensive efforts or running efforts
Hmm.
this week. That's one thing I can kind of take away from it. But yeah, nothing really stood out to me from that game besides Aaron Jones just being that he's showing him why he's the alpha dog in the backfield on Green Bay.
Yeah.
He's AJ. Hey AJ Dillon, you can wait your turn a little bit longer, but still mine. Still mine.
I mean, even though like AJ Dillon, he got a lot of the grimy yards. Like
Yeah.
he just fucking put his head down and said, "I'll do the work."
Yeah. So we'll go to the game that's over. I mean, they're both pretty much over. Buffalo, Tennessee, 41
Over
to
before it
7.
started.
Yeah. I mean, Buffalo, they're like the fucking real deal. Josh Allen, what did he have? Give me his stat lines.
He went 26 of 38, 317, and 4 touchdowns in 3 quarters.
Yeah, 3 quarters. That's
Three
that's
quarters.
that's the writing in bold is in 3 quarters. He didn't need the full game to literally drop his hammer on the Tennessee Titans franchise.
Yeah,
Stephon Diggs, 130 yards receiving, 150 yards receiving, 3 touchdowns. Like he came out to play.
absolutely.
He's back to his first year in Buffalo days. Like he is,
Yeah, this is wide receiver one type shit. Did he
yeah,
get a touchdown last week?
yeah,
Okay, so he's leading with 4 touchdowns,
yeah. He got a
and I think
touchdown
he
last
has
week.
the most receiving yards and most receptions then.
Yeah, like he's back. I think this was the season to have Diggs because Allen's more pissed off than
Yeah, than anyone else.
When Diggs came in the first year in Buffalo. So
Agreed.
Allen's like, I'm getting you the fucking ball
Yeah,
because we need to have a season and you're gonna be my guy to do that. So
and it shows, man. It fucking shows. Like you could
yeah,
literally take Buffalo in almost any Survivor Week pool. Like
yeah.
that's how confident I am with this
They're
team.
they are gonna somehow like have a stinker of a game out of
One
nowhere,
one way
probably
or another.
because they're always due for it. But it's gonna be like really random, like losing to like the fucking Panthers or something somehow, like where they just it.
Fucking stupid.
Yeah, it's gonna be weird. But yeah, Diggs had 12 receptions. Dawson Knox finally had like a relative game, unlike week one where he only had a catch for 5 yards. He had 4 for 41, so he was a bit more involved into the scheme, which is good to see. James Cook leading the way on the ground. 11 attempts for 53 yards, at least for Buffalo. Um, no, yeah, he led the league. He led the game rushing. Derrick Henry was quiet all game as well. What
Yeah,
part of
he had 13 rushes for 25 yards and a touchdown.
yeah. What
Last year he averaged 7 yards a carry. Tonight he averaged not even two.
yeah. So Derrick Henry regression, that was a question going into the season. Not going to judge it off him because he's a guy who can just come out any single week and get 200 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yep.
So he ain't out till he's out. But yeah, Buffalo is playing to a level why they are the Super Bowl favorites. Just dropping 40 bombs all over the place. So they're scary. They're scary for sure. And Gabe Davis wasn't even active tonight. So that's
Yeah, that's also the concerning part.
and they still, I mean, Diggs probably benefited from that, from getting some of his touchdowns
Agreed.
because Gabe Davis is usually pretty guaranteed for at least one a game.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, just to repeat Josh Allen's stat line, 26 to 38 for 317 and 4. Like that's just a good, really fucking good stat line. And
Definitely.
he had one rushing attempt for 10 yards and he hurled someone for a first down. Like that's
Yeah.
how much Allen is like, I'm out for blood.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's Tennessee brought nothing to it. And we're gonna go to our last game. They're in the 2 minute warning right now. Philly is beating Minnesota 24 to 7. Um, the defense we are all fucking raving about going into this new NFL season. Eagles defense causing 3 turnovers at least. They might have a fumble as well. Um, I'm I can't
No, no fumble.
no fumble, just
Just they stripped him, but the Vikings jumped on it.
okay.
Yeah.
Um, I think I got my week locked up. Thankfully, I'm up by 7 right now. So
Yeah, Cousins is kind of dialing it up the last couple minutes here.
yeah, and he threw Thielen's way for fucking once
Yeah.
this game. But yeah, okay, I can finally live and breathe for that. But
You can finally unclench your butthole.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins had himself a primetime game like he always does. Fucking 200 yards, a touchdown, 3 picks. He never once had it going. That's how good Eagles defense played tonight. Kirk Cousins couldn't like I think they had like what 4 straight 3-and-outs. Like I swear they were just
Yeah,
locking
something
everyone up.
disgusting.
Darius Slay was
Darius
on
Slay is
fucking
the
Jefferson's
Justin Jefferson
ass.
killer tonight. He has two
That's
picks lined up against him.
yeah, Slay to Jefferson is like fucking Lattimore to Evans. Like he just locks him up like Revis Island to fucking any of the primetime receivers in like that 3-year stretch.
Literally.
Slay had he was dialed in tonight, and you can't do anything but respect that. Irv Smith got the Vikings touchdown. But yeah, Jefferson 6 for 48 with nothing. He had his longest reception was 11 yards.
Yeah,
It
he could
it,
get a touchdown right here. It is first and goal.
it
Kirk
was
throws. Thielen. Oh my God, he was almost picked again.
I would have yeeted myself off the porch.
Oh my
Oh my,
God.
that would have been game though, and I wouldn't have lost any more points. But I just needed a good game from Kirk to give myself like no anxiety or stress. And
Hmm.
of course, I'm like, fuck, it's prime
Prime
time.
time. Yeah.
I'm like, is it possible to play with no quarterbacks? Like, is that smart to do? Because I'm thinking about it, and that thought could have been right. But yeah, Eagles with another win. Jalen Hurts 333 yards passing, kind of also silencing the haters of like, can he throw? Is he going to be dialed in this year? Is he going to improve um throwing the ball? And he did. He has shown that AJ Brown is a massive part to this offense. Devontae Smith coming out as well, having a good game, 7 for 80. And I just think looking at the box score, like Philly just played good in every aspect of their offense and
Yes.
team play, just team play. But like their offense, like Hertz was super efficient, 26 to 31. Um, Sanders ran for 80, Hertz ran for almost 60. Smith caught 80, Goddard caught 80, Brown caught 70, Watkins caught 70 plus a long 53-yard bomb. Like they just played good everywhere, and that's the recipe for a win. So Eagles are coming out firing. Like I was scared about. I think a lot of people said like Hurts was the X factor for this offense, right? Like
Yep.
they're gonna live up to expectations if he plays well, and he has. So watch out for Philly. But is there anything else you want to like add about this game? I've kind of been talking a lot this episode, and I
No,
apologize. I
honestly,
apologize
man,
about
you're
that.
running with it. You're running with it and you're running with opinions and that's how it should be. Like this
Uh,
game, it just proves their defense is what we thought it was, especially from last week or maybe it's just honestly, I don't even know because Green Bay, did what they needed to do against Chicago and Minnesota just laid an absolute stinker tonight. And honestly, not all of it was Kirk's fault. I did watch the majority of this game. Uh, a lot of bad drops, like
yeah,
a lot of bad drops. Like, I know we said Irv Smith had the touchdown. He probably should have had two. Um, the offensive line just didn't hold up for Kirk whatsoever,
and he's like a statue in the pocket. He can't move.
pretty much. So yeah, that's kind of tough.
Yeah, when we said that about Lawrence in week 1. He could have had 3 or 4 touchdown passes, but Etienne and like a few other guys dropped passes.
Yep,
And you got to help your quarterback and catch the ball. That's what you're paid for, right?
definitely.
And yeah, so that is true. Because I didn't watch the second half because we hopped on at halftime and I didn't have it on all.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, all half. So yeah, drops suck for especially for quarterbacks. But that's all the games. I want to look at week 2 a little bit.
You mean three?
Week 3. That's what I said. I'm gonna cut that part out. Imagine. So week 3. Thursday night, Pitt's division rival. We'll go over the primetime games and we'll each say one game that we're kind of looking forward to. Pittsburgh, Cleveland. Thursday night, 5:15. It is in the dog pound.
The
Will we
elf pound.
will we see Kenny Pickett Thursday night?
No.
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 Tomlin did say that he wants to sit Pickett all year, so that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
But Trubisky has just been playing like absolute dog water. So could we
I
see like
mean,
a Malik Willis situation coming in late if he's playing terrible?
yeah, honestly, we could. I mean, you look at Trubisky's stat line, it's not great. But you even look at, Najee Harris's stat line, and a lot of people were like, oh, like RB1 potential. And this was one of the ones that I was kind of proud about. How is Najee Harris going to be RB1 potential when the offensive line can't hold up?
Yeah.
Like, it's scary,
And
it's absolutely scary.
and he was super successful his rookie season because he had like the most touches
He had the
last
most,
year.
yeah, most touches, and he literally had an 18 reception game.
Yeah. Oh, I remember that. That was insane.
Yeah, but I mean, like his stat line the week before, 10 for 23. Like that's not good.
That's not good at all.
No.
So
So,
who do you have this game?
oh man, this is the under of all unders. I think with this one, the only thing that could fuck it up is
I think
Nick
this is
Chubb.
I think this is another like Pittsburgh Patriots thing. It's just because Cleveland is like their offense isn't spectacular, but they have good defense.
Yep.
So I want you to hop on um Betway or DraftKings, whatever you use, and I want you to kind of look up the lines here.
Bet 365, baby. I'll do that
Yeah.
right now.
Look on Bet365 for some of these games and lines. We'll kind of make our little predictions here. But I think the best prop for this is under anytime touchdown, Nick Chubb.
Yeah,
Because
I
I
agree.
think
The under is the line is 38.5 points.
watch, this is gonna be like a Detroit Philly game where it just goes over
Oh,
70.
oh
But
my God.
I see another like 30 point 21 to like or yeah, I see like another like 21-14 maybe
Yeah,
kind of thing. I don't see this being anything close to 38. So I got the under and anytime touchdown for Nick Chubb. I think that's pretty fair.
that's a good call.
We'll go to Sunday night. Denver, San Fran. What should be a good game, but
Depending on how fucking
we
Russ
won't
plays.
yeah, we won't speak too soon.
San Fran is the favorite.
I think they deserve to be the favorite.
Yeah, by a point.
I think I got San Fran spread and money line. I think they
Yeah,
win.
the line is set at 46 points.
I would also bet the under there
I would bet the under there as well.
because I think San Francisco has a pretty respectable defense, and Russell Wilson hasn't shown me anything to say like, "Hey, these guys are going to score a lot of points."
Yes.
And he's obviously due for one because he still is a talented quarterback. But I mean, Nathaniel Hackett hasn't shown a ton either. Jerry Jeudy might be out. He's questionable, and his shoulder didn't look too well. So I like San Fran
Mm-hmm.
this game. And Debo over receiving. I don't know what it is,
You're
but
gonna take it?
I just have this gut feeling that Debo is gonna have a really good game
Fair enough.
this week. He's due for one because his first one was a super rainy day. He didn't get a lot of receiving yards, and this one he only got like 40. So I think he's with a full game from Garoppolo. I think he's gonna get a lot of work. Um, but yeah, who do you like this game?
I definitely like San Fran as well. Just because Denver hasn't shown me shit.
Yeah,
And it's so hard to like keep coming back to the same empty well and expecting water to be in it, you know?
Exactly. That's really
So
well put. That's really well
yeah,
put.
I don't know if I would necessarily take the Broncos with anything. Maybe like a last touchdown would be Javonte Williams.
Or maybe like opening score. Like maybe they get the first
Yeah, they get the
field
opening
goal of the
possession,
go down
and
for a field goal or something.
yeah, I agree. So, but like I just think the 49ers can run with the ball and run with the game.
Yeah. I agree with you there. 100%. Um all right, Monday night. Dallas Giants.
Oh, NFC beast.
The NFC beast. Can the Giants go 3-0? Can we see it
Honestly,
happen?
I think they could. They are at MetLife, and Brian Dable is on a heater right now.
Yeah. What's the line at?
The line that we have, take a guess at what you think the line is, because I bet you won't get it.
Cowboys minus 2.5.
It's the opposite way. It's the Giants minus 2.5.
Wow.
And the under is 39, or the line, sorry, is 39.5.
I don't. This is such a hard game to judge
It is because
because,
it's like if Dallas's defense actually plays well, the Giants aren't scoring more than 20 points.
yeah,
And if Cooper Rush plays like Cooper Rush again, then who knows? I would personally stay away from this game in all aspects of betting wise.
I would too. I wouldn't
Maybe
touch it.
just like an anytime touchdown for Saquon or an anytime touchdown for Pollard.
Yeah, I like any time for Pollard. What's maybe CD? I don't trust going over his prop either.
Yeah, I don't necessarily have the prop up right now
Because
for
I just don't know if Cooper Rush can have like a average game again. I just think that he might come in and play terrible, and then Daniel Jones isn't trustworthy.
mhm,
Maybe Saquon Barkley over rushing,
that could be it too.
but yeah, I would stay away from this. But I would probably say Giants cover and win,
Hmm.
just because Daniel Jones scares me, and I think with Dallas's weapons, it's easier for Cooper Rush to have an above average game than Daniel Jones to have a good game.
I agree.
And with Dallas's defense, I find is a bit better, especially with Parsons. So I would probably go Dallas to win this game outright. Um, but yeah, and maybe like anytime touchdown from like Dalton Schultz or something like that. Just like they're at the 5 and they just want to throw it to Schultz on like a curl route or something. But Sunday slate, who do you like? What's a game that you're kind of locked into besides your Saints?
Definitely the Bills and Dolphins. That's gonna be a one hell of a game.
Yeah, that should be a really good game.
The Lions and Vikings NFC North battle.
I had my eyes on that too.
Yeah, and then I feel like you got to put the Packers and Bucks in
Yeah.
there just to see like, you know, pretty big revenge game
Yeah.
for Rodgers. I'm actually cheering for Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
you're stuck in a pickle
I
here.
it's like this game is my kryptonite right there.
Yeah. This is gonna give you gray hairs early.
Oh my God. If the Packers can beat the Bucks, then that's how I know the Bucks aren't that good.
Yeah. Um, so like I kind of agree with you on all those games. Those are all the games that I was looking at as well. Um, what has been decent games in the past is Baltimore, New England. They haven't decent ones in the past, but I'm not going to put that. With how the Jets have been playing, Bengals Jets might
Bengals,
play good.
Jets. Yeah, Jets could
They could
also beat the
surprise
Bengals
them.
back to
Yeah.
back years.
So like this is one that could be interesting. Um, Another one that would have to be Raiders like playing bad again is Raiders Tennessee, but like I just don't see Tennessee bringing any excitement to any game besides maybe a Derrick Henry like 90-yard stiff arm run.
Yeah.
But like other than that, I don't get excited watching Tennessee play.
No,
Uh, actually, one I will say, Eagles Washington.
I was about to say that one as well.
Carson Wentz has been dealing, man. He's been playing really well.
Revenge game.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. He's been playing really well, and Hurts has been playing well, like we just went over. Um, but yeah, do you have a lock of the week? What's your
Ooh, lock
lock?
lock of the week. I won't give out a pretty
Just,
obvious
just
lock of the week.
yeah, you could do like money line. You don't have to worry about spread. Just like, what team do
Okay.
you think is winning? Like, what's your lock?
My lock, my easy lock is going to be the Chargers versus the Jags. I think I'm gonna try and convince that one to be the survivor pick
Yeah,
for me, my dad, and Donald, because there's not going to be a lot of games where we get to use the Chargers
yeah,
as an absolute lock, but I think yeah, I think they can definitely get it done versus Jacksonville.
yeah. My lock is KC over Indy.
Yeah, see that one's like a low hanging fruit,
All right, I'll give something else then. Uh, I will say, hmm, Vegas over Tennessee.
Wow, okay. I thought you were gonna go with Eagles over Commanders.
No, because like I think like Vegas played bad and they still put up 23. Like imagine what they can put up when they actually feed Adams the ball.
Yeah,
Like
that's
I
fair.
think they should be able to play a lot better, and Tannehill hasn't brought shit to the season yet. And
That
I
is
don't
very,
see him
very
picking
fair.
up his pace. So I think Vegas is going to come back better, and they're going to beat Tennessee in Tennessee. But probably the one I was talking about, like most excited for, I think Eagles Washington. It could be a barn burner
Hmm.
and be a lot of fun. But usually we go over fantasy studs and duds, but I think we're just going to wrap it up tonight. I'm going to
A
wrap it
bit of
up there.
longer episode, yeah.
We've been going for close to the same length, but
I think
just
we one thing we can all agree on: a fantasy stud, two studs, Lamar Jackson, Tua Tagovailoa, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, uh, fuck,
Aaron
who's the other?
Jones,
Yeah, Aaron Jones, and then we'll give off some duds. Um, Kirk Cousins,
Kirk
latest
fucking
stinker.
Kirk fucking Cousins, dude.
Ryan Tannehill, latest
Yeah,
stinker. Leonard Fournette, I think laid a pretty big stinker, especially
yeah.
with like how much he could have potentially got. I don't know. Saints defense is actually pretty good against the run, so maybe he didn't.
Rashad Penny didn't play well.
Yeah,
Um,
Penny laid a pretty big
he
stinker.
had 15 yards on 6 carries. Like 6 carries, you should be able to produce a bit more.
And you know what? Not someone we usually put in here. Jonathan Taylor.
Dude, we're on the same wavelength, dude. I was gonna do the same thing.
Yeah, you have to give him his flowers, but then you also have to take him away. So
Exactly. And fucking Bengals defense.
the Bengals, yeah,
I know you're
Bengals
not I
defense.
know you're not the best defense, but you should be able to put up better numbers against fucking Cooper Rush.
Agreed.
And Tom Brady. Brady played like shit.
Fair enough.
He played terrible. I mean, 190 yards and a touchdown and a fumble and fumble lost. Like, I know Saints have had your number, but you're better than that, right?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, there's a few guys who should have played better, but I think Jonathan Taylor is the big one against Jacksonville. He should be able to put up better numbers there. But
At least 15 points.
that's your week 2 wrap up, minor week 3 preview, and a little fantasy football talk as well. You should be hearing a lot of these episodes this season. We're gonna have guests throughout the season as well. And when the NHL season picks up, is we're gonna be kind of summarizing the NFL talk a bit more. We're not gonna dive into every game. We're gonna go into maybe pick 5 games that we liked and then go into that and then talk some hockey as well. Hockey is a little more reoccurring than there's not a designated weekend for hockey. It's throughout the week as well. So it's a little less like talking about each game. more so talking about the status of each team when we press record, kind of big news that happened throughout the week. So those are some episodes that you should expect throughout this season. Haydn, where can the people follow you if they want to see or
At
contact you?
Hayden_Barton on Instagram and Twitter. I've had some rolling off hot takes today with the news of Mike Evans. So
You can see his Twitter for that, and find everything for the show on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at leftsideheavy_. Hit me up on Instagram at Jevon.Lefave, on Twitter at JevonLefave, and subscribe to the YouTube Left Side Heavy. Trying to hit 100. We're not at the half. Let's start with 50. We're trying to hit 50. We're at 39 right now. So please share and see the full episodes in video format. And yeah, please leave a rating and review. It helps grow the show. And we will see you next week, next Wednesday, for week 3 recap. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Thank you for listening. Peace.